I don't know if you girls heard about the great golden toilet heist. Did you hear about this?
No.
I didn't.
There was a golden toilet heist worth millions of dollars. 6 million to be maybe it was more, maybe it was less. People aren't really sure.
Why do you heist the
Hannah Claire
toilet?
refutes that number. But apparently it was solid gold. A coordinated heist was put on to steal a solid gold 216-pound golden toilet from
How
a
do you
museum
steal
exit.
a 200-plus-pound toilet? That doesn't. What are the logistics of this operation?
You would think
Well-
that stealing jewelry would be a little easier.
Right? Or like, do you guys like cut it up? But doesn't that hurt? Or, like,
My guess is the way we'll find out is you went in with like a sledgehammer, you just broke it up. If you're only interested in selling the gold.
And then melting it down.
Yeah,
It's poo-poo gold.
Yeah, right. I'm sure they didn't care about the toilet. They just wanted the gold.
It's got poo-poo particles on it,
Poo-poo
though.
particles. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know if it was ever used. The toilet was part of an exhibition.
Oh.
And it was even fully functional when they stole it. Okay, so there probably was doo-doo in there.
Whoa.
The perps had given the cops a slip for years. They found a ton of information on their phones that ultimately led to a conviction. Before stealing the toilet, one of them had taken selfies with it. Authorities said that several other pieces of evidence leading to an open and shut case. The toilet, worth $6.5 million US, was stolen in less than 6 minutes, according to police. Perpetrators James Sheen and Michael Jones booked time with the exhibit the day prior to their heist, scoping out the area before breaking into the palace. Sheen was the mastermind and was convicted back in 2024 when his DNA was found at the scene of the crime, as well as evidence that he stole the gold, including a picture of 520,000 pounds in a duffel bag. He took it to brag about his ill-gotten gains through a text message. It's a lot of cash.
That's the thing, is criminals are usually
They're so
dumb.
stupid.
They
They
are
always
dumb.
get caught.
Yeah.
Michael Jones, the other man who participated in stealing the toilet, was arrested earlier in 2025, also pled guilty of burglary. One of the key pieces of evidence in his conviction was the selfie that Jones took with the toilet in the background. In the trial, Jones confirmed that he did, in fact, use the toilet, saying that he had a splendid experience. From a phone message to DNA traces in a stolen car. Oh, here you go. And a sledgehammer used in the burglary. The wealth of evidence ultimately enabled us to secure their convictions and an officer working on the trial. So wait, did he use it and then steal it? So there's doo-doo in it?
Did he
Or
flush
maybe the
at
sledgehammer
least?
was just to break it off the wall.
Oh, my.
This isn't the only bizarre heist in recent memory, with a man who stole several $1,000s in magic cards being forced to write an apology letter to the fans of the card game after he was caught.
To the fans?
Yeah, I mean, this guy stole them brand new. He stole $300,000 worth of magic cards from Gen Con, actually, which is pretty wild. Now, 300,000 isn't even...
So he basically got 52 cards.
Yeah, right. I mean, it could have been...
It's
by
like
the way,
one really special card that's really rare.
yeah. They ended up getting identified, though, and were charged with felony theft. Local authorities outlined the pair used a pallet jack to take pallets of Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Disney Lorcana cards, I imagine from the storage, walked right out the front door. Their trial is set for July, so next month. Dunbar has now been handled his sentence, having taken a plea deal first to dismiss the felony charge. The man had been sentenced to a lower-level theft charge. In short, this means rather than taking 2 years in jail, he's now on probation and must pay restitution. That's a pretty light sentence for $300,000 theft.
Well, they just don't take magic
Wow.
seriously, you know?
Yeah, I wonder, palette of magic cards or golden toilet, which one are you taking?
A palette of magic cards, I think, would be a bit easier, but not as much money, sadly.
Yeah, I think...
How do you sell the golden toilet without drawing attention to yourself? Like,
You just melt it down, you sell little gold bars.
Right.
yeah,
You
see,
get-
other than the logistics of moving it out of its current location, I feel like that's the one that's easier to sell off. The magic cards, I assume it's like when they have money that's been stolen and they have all the serial numbers. Presumably,
Nope, there's nothing like it. You can walk.
Really?
Yep. Once what they wanted to do was just they could have opened them all, So let's say they're worth 300 grand in the box.
Right.
There's two ways you move in. One is you sell them as sealed product, which you could track because there are usually lot numbers on the outside of the boxes. But if you opened all the packs and you just took all the cards that had a value, like if you open $300,000 in Magic cards, you might get 50K. Now you might get extraordinarily lucky and open $400,000 worth, but that's not normally what happens. So you probably end up with like $100,000 worth of cards you can sell because you can't really flip a bunch of cards worth $1 or $2. So you take all the cards worth $10 and you sell them either to a buyer at 50% of their value, or you open up like an eBay account and you sell them because there would really be no way to trace that, those cards.
Yeah.
They might say, oh, here's a new seller with a bunch of Magic cards, but you'd never be able to link it back to the, So yeah, it's an interesting story. I think I'm taking the Magic cards because there's a bigger chance I get away with it.
Exactly.
I'm not walking out the front door though.
Like that's kind of gross,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably was just memeing. My guess is the only way you really steal that is you break it up and you put it in duffel bags. Like you leave some behind, you just smash the hell out of it.
Yeah.
You put it in 2 duffel bags. You get those big, walk out. You smash it up, walk out, and then you just sell it off in chunks. Or you get a crucible and you melt it down. And, by the way, with the gold, there's no timetable to even sell it. You could hold on to that for 20 years before you sell it. Where the Magic cards, you have a little tighter window, I think.